This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Seton Catholic Sentinels, as I'm Derek Palmer alongside a couple of state champions, Kay Solomon, Mike Brogan, as we are here with the Round Valley Elk, who are taking on a team who was 7-4 a year ago and moved down from 4A to 3A in reward for that. Gage Finch, they're trying to start things off by going deep down the middle where he's going to have this one seemingly intended for one of the Sentinels, trying to strike big. Instead, it's going to be picked off and taken away by Lucas Jimenez.
Yeah, it looks like that was a scripted play, I'll bet, coming out. Looks like they wanted to take a deep shot, first play of the season. Seton just dropped that safety deep in the middle of the field and almost caught that like a punt.
Dropped that safety, and if the Round Valley quarterback could have gotten that a little deeper, that had a chance of going big. Underthrown just a little bit.
So Seton wins the toss, elects to defer. Round Valley likes to strike fast and instead has this picked off. An excellent field position for the Sentinels as a new quarterback has come out for the Sentinels. They're trying to break in a few different position players. Got a little bit of pressure showing off the right side of the line. Now going into motion. Instead going to hand this one off where it's bouncing off a couple of players is Edwards.
Well, and interesting tonight to see. I think, the White Mountain teams are well known for their physicality, and I think Round Valley is definitely in that boat. They play really physical. I'm interested to see how their physicality matches up with the size of Seton.
So Patrick Colony comes out to operate as the Seton signal caller. He didn't get any reps last year. He did log a couple of plays as a return man. He moves Edwards over to his left as he'll again get the calls, this time moving from the left to the right, runs through a pretty big hole, gets into Round Valley territory and is close to the yard marker after a gain of 6.
Yeah, they tried that right side again, but blocked it a little differently that time and got a good hole off that right side for a good gain.
Walker, they're on the stop. 3rd and 1 after the interception. First minute here of the ball game, no score. Round Valley had one play, and Finch turned it over on a long interception. So now Connolly riding Edwards here, making his first start. Has it already into Elk territory. 3rd down and 1 from the Round Valley 47. A little bit of movement along the Elk front as Connolly from the shotgun takes the snap, hands off Edwards, again runs to the right side, but is decked almost immediately.
Like Lane Hill coming up from that linebacker spot. That was a big hit. It's a good thing he filled that hole because I thought he had a seam, and I thought that was going to go for a pretty good gain, but that's a great fill by that linebacker.
Well, it's early in the ball game, but we already have a candidate for the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint glass shattering hit of the game. That was a big one, and it looks like Seton, after a brief moment of thought, is going to go for it. Is that what I'm understanding? Connolly's still out there. Perhaps just trying to draw an aggressive Round Valley front off sides. As he goes under center, is a crowded backfield, turns and gives to Edwards. This time uses the left and has just enough, and his second effort gives him an extra yard. Needed 1, wound up gaining 3, and moves the chains.
Went with more of a heavy look, of course, on that. All they needed was a yard, and they put a fullback back there and a second running back as well, and managed to pick up that first down.
That's a gutsy call there very early in the ball game, giving Round Valley potentially the ball right back around midfield, right around where that interception had occurred. Instead, they're able to pick it up and move the chains already at the line of scrimmage. Back to the shotgun with Connolly. He's yet to throw. Edwards has 4 carries and gained 12 yards thus far. He's been the workhorse. He's standing on the right now. Now moves to Connolly's left. Has been going from the left to the right. Now going to pull it back as Round Valley is in the backfield. Don't know if that was necessarily by design or if Connolly was just trying to avoid having a bigger loss.
Yeah, it was great penetration from most of the defensive line. Seemed to be about 3 yards in the backfield, 78 and 20. kind of wreaked havoc on that.
Loss of 2. Garcia was there on the stop. Second time in these 5 plays that Round Valley's been able to get a big hit right around the line of scrimmage or on the other side of it. But still trying to now to compensate for that interception that started the ball game. No score, 8:40 to go, first quarter. Seton now facing 2nd and 12. Back on the other side of the Round Valley 45. Long looping snap. Colony trying to get this one thrown down the near sideline. Lots of contact, but the ball was underthrown. They're going to go ahead and permit Finch to provide a little bit of physical play and deny that opportunity.
Yeah, the ball underthrown a little bit again, similar to the Round Valley first play of the game, and Finch is in good position there to defend that, even though he wasn't able to get his head around. He was right in a good spot to defend that play.
Mateo Guerrero, I believe, is the snapper here. Or it might be Joseph Bruce, but we were noticing during their warm-up that he was having a little bit of a low snap. That one just kind of hung up a little bit on him. That might have been why it was tough for Connolly to deliver. So now 3rd and long, moves the pocket to the left, thinking about things as he tries to let this develop, and then winds up overthrowing an open man, as that was intended for Mendoza, but it was way over his head.
Yeah, they run that kind of like quarterback waggle out to the left, and it's takes a little bit of talent to be able to roll left, get your shoulders squared, and deliver that out route on that. Just a little early in the season, he may be a little bit better 5-6 games into the year on that play, but.
Back to receive for Round Valley is Brody Crick. He returned the opening kickoff to 25.
Like 20 yards
yeah.
on the snap here.
Deep, punter's deep, yeah.
This one off the side of the foot a little bit, but still gets over the 20. Lots of people nearby there, and eventually Seton picks that one up, but you had 3 Elk who were flirting with another disaster.
Well, trading punches here early. Good, obviously Round Valley would like that first play back on offense, but like you said, that was scripted. They'd seen something they wanted to go for early or make a big statement early. And Seton able to get 1 first down, but the Round Valley defense stiffens. And
when you go with a scripted play like that ends in something that you weren't intending for, do you tend to then go a little bit more conservative on the second possession, or how would you look at this?
I'd expect them to keep it on the ground a little more here, probably, kind of establish a rhythm here on offense.
Handoff does go toward Crick, who tried to chip his way toward the left side of the line, but winds up gaining a couple.
Yeah, it's that's kind of the bread and butter of Round Valley's offense. They're out of that pistol. They're going to run a lot of little quarterback read. He'll give it if he sees an opening for that running back, or he can keep that thing out of there.
Going without a huddle, 8:13 to go, 2nd down and 8. Handoff again, Crick this time accelerating to the right side. One man to beat to get to the edge, but it was well closed out there by another couple of defenders. The first man there did just enough to hold him up and allow for the reinforcements to get to him.
It was a great stiff arm by Crick on the first defender to come up and meet him, that, I think outside linebacker, but then he couldn't shake the second one there.
Hurtado there was eventually able to bring him down. 3 receivers set with 2 coming to the left. Crick also on the left as they fake the handoff to him. Throwing this one into traffic again as it's going to hang up and eventually go right between 2 different Sentinels. You had Fogarty who was there along with Jimenez, and neither of them were communicating with the other.
Yeah, it looks like Seton haven't come down from the 4A where it's a little more pass-heavy. Those DBs are awfully deep. That they have that safety coming up over the top, and then looks like the corner was playing off a little bit as well, and they both did a really good job getting deeper than the receiver and being able to make a play on that ball. But
second punt, 3 possessions, 1 first down thus far. They had an interception and then 2 punts. And to do this punting, well, it looks like they got it away. I think that's Crick as he heads this one high, hanging up there a long time, and eventually contacted. It's fumbled. Falling on that one, a series of players, but I believe it's out of bounds. No, it'll be Round Valley on the recovery.
yeah, I think the height of that punt, and it allowed that gunner to get down right in the face of the return man. And
is recovered by Finch. Kason Finch was able to get there after Titan Myers kind of further obstructed the opportunity there. Alec Hurtado was trying to come down with that one, but like you said, that thing was hanging up there for like 4, 5, 6 seconds.
And that's what you got to love about small school football, that the starting quarterback is on the punt coverage team. Don't see that very often.
It's a different game.
Give this one away now as Crick is coming from right to the left. Flags galore, as he would have a 7 or 8 yard gain, but this seems as if it's probably going to be a hold.
Yeah, especially the two.
Yep. Even worse. Blindside block and a personal foul. It will remain first down.
We'll probably bring in a wide receiver in to crack somebody there, and obviously that's can't lay the big hits doing that anymore. Can't get
That
away
used
with
to be the staple of all the offenses in the 80s and 90s, Coach. Like,
That's right.
First and 25 now. Finch wants to go to the right side. Leaves this one up too high as it was intended for Brenton Walker. Right now, Cage Finch is having a little bit of a hard go with his timing and making sure that he's able to get things as extended as he needs to on the vertical routes. It is the first game, first quarter.
yeah, he's got a good arm. I've been impressed. His arm strength is pretty good. I mean, he's throwing those outs to the wide side of the field, and those are 20, 30-yard throws, and he's got pretty good zip on the ball.
Right now, 0 for his first 3 with an interception. 3 receivers break the huddle. Crick back there with Finch from the shotgun. Also got a tight end there off the line on the right side as a high snap is brought down. Fake the handoff, throw this one into the flat where it's going to be grabbed. Tricky with his first play as a Round Valley Elk winds up running toward midfield. Didn't get all of the yards lost on the personal foul. Berber was there to keep him at a 12-yard gain.
It's a good gain to get him in a little bit better position to have a chance to convert here on third down. That looked like a little bit maybe of a read option type look with the quarterback. I'm not sure. We'll have to keep watching that and see if he was looking for something specific, but definitely found a wide open receiver out there.
Actually just a 10-yard gain, so third down and 15. Out toward midfield. The ball's been around this part of the field for an awful lot of the first quarter. 6:35 to go. There's no score, but there's been a couple of turnovers, and now whistle stops play. Round Valley is going to talk about it. As there's no score, first quarter, Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7, iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Yeah. Yep. The two downfield have been scary. The second one should have been picked too.
6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Talking about Cage Finch right now is he's been asked to do an awful lot with his arm. Had one pass that went about 45 yards up the field, but that was intercepted. He had another one that was roughly the same yardage, nearly intercepted. But the other one that we were talking about, the attempt to hit Walker from the close hash outside the far, all of these passes have involved an awful lot of yards. Is now coming in motion to the near side, J.J. Logan. So they fake the handoff, flip this one off where it's going to be had by Cochran with some opportunities. He gets over midfield, spun down as he gets to the Seton 43-yard line, but it's going to be well shy of the first down. Gifford there making sure he doesn't get it, but a decision now for Round Valley's coaching staff is it will be 4th down and 6.
It's just so hard to overcome that personal foul on first down, and I mean they're going to try to take it in 7-8 yard chomps, but
they're going for it right here. At least that's how they're lined up. Shotgun snap with Finch rolling to the right side. He can tuck this one if he wants. Instead, he throws it across his body and into another little bit of traffic, but again, a little bit too high. The intended man, Walker. Woof, that was another really, really tough delivery.
You know, he got a good look. I thought maybe they were going to try to ice him and, you know, make that 4th and 1 or 2 instead of a 4th and 6, but got a good look there. Receiver wasn't completely open, and that was a safe throw actually for the quarterback there to put it up high and make sure that nobody could get to it if his receiver couldn't get to it.
And in that case, even if it was picked off, 4th down.
Exactly.
If you're going to roll the dice.
Yeah.
I was wondering as soon as he started moving the pocket that way if he wasn't going to try one of them soccer-style punts or something, but instead they're going to give it right back to Seton, 43-yard line, Sentinel's own 43-yard line. Edwards right now has been the story. He's got 12 yards on 4 carries. 0 for 2 is Edwards. No, it's not Edwards. Instead, getting the call for the first time is Gabriel Berber.
I don't know if that was designed for the running back to take that snap.
It looked to me like it probably was. He came right across there like he was expecting that.
And that ball hung up just a little bit, right?
A little direct snap to him.
Yeah. It's an interesting play design.
No yards on the carry, 2nd and 10. Round Valley nearly with a first down, or did they all pick one up? No, they did not. They got it on the turnover. There's only been 1 first down here.
Had the big penalty that pushed them back.
5 minutes and 10 seconds to go. There's lots of movement along the Round Valley front. Got Connolly again directing traffic from the shotgun. Berber is his running back as they fake the handoff to him. Drop this one off. That was going to be had by Edwards, but it's again a nice read by the front 7 for the Elk. That pass is caught. Connolly's first reception, but it's instead going to go for a 5-yard loss.
And you're getting the vibes. It's really similar to last night. It feels like with Round Valley's defense, it took similar to Blue Ridge, it took about 2 possessions to get locked in, and now they're starting to play in the backfield. It feels like on a consistent basis now, so it looks like they're bringing a lot of pressure from those linebackers.
3rd and 16. Had some success really feeding Edwards on that first drive, did Seton, but since then haven't really gone his way. There's split backs now on either side of Connolly. Now the pressure kind of backing away from the line. Connolly with the snap, time. Sends this one into double coverage down the far sideline. Fogarty's the intended man. If he caught it, he was out of bounds. Well, the officials are having a conversation.
Showing incomplete. There's lots of conversation.
Look at the
There's a
replay here.
replay that shows him definitely out of bounds.
Yeah.
Oof, that
And with the catch, I think that knee probably got down first, and that was an incomplete pass.
so
Fogarty's one of the few returning players that he was an impact player for him in the first half of the season last year. I know in Snowflake, we played them down there. He was injured in that game. We didn't see him most of the second half.
He's twice been the intended man here in the early going. Brody Crick now back to receive his second punt. Oh, overruns that one a little bit. Has to come back to get it at the 20. Now looking for some blocking help. He gets to the 30. Now cuts it to the left. He's in the open field at the 40. On the outside at the 50. One man to beat. 40, 30. Slams on the brakes. Trying to shake him at the 20. And then eventually forced out of bounds outside of the 10. Connolly is eventually able to bring him down. There is a flag back at the 30.
It's an interesting spot for a flag. It felt like he kind of broken clean on that side. I didn't see any other Round Valley kids over here.
I wonder if it's going to be another blind side, maybe somebody coming across the field.
In that position, I think, right, you either got a blind side or some crack
There's
back, right?
also an awful lot of warnings on the Round Valley sideline here, so I wonder if that... Right now the ball's at the 15. They haven't signaled anything to us.
No, I think you got it. Derek. I think that was a sideline warning.
I think there's more sideline warnings in this facility than any other place in the state.
Well, we'll see. The second one's supposed to be a penalty, so the
3
next one will
receivers
probably
set
will
now
be.
going 2 to the right. Finch goes Crick, running in that direction, cuts it up at the 10. He gets down toward the 5 and is very close to a first down, gains 8. Crick had that huge return on the punt. And they're given an opportunity to punch it in from 15 out. Instead, he sets up 2nd and short.
Yeah, nice little off tackle play, and they were able to get about 8 on first down. I would expect them to lean heavy on the run game here to try to punch this thing in.
Coming out for Round Valley. Might not have been Crick. I think Cochran might have actually had that run. 42 and 12 look kind of similar. But Crick is out there now. I was going to say that was an awful long way to run to then give the ball right back to him. Finch is going to keep this one, get inside the 5, and pick up a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2. Gage Finch with his first carry, and it's good for 7 yards.
Good choice there. Looked like a designed run to that side for the quarterback, and he made a good decision to go straight up field and get what he could there.
Cochran back out. shuttling in and out. J.J. Logan leaves, as does Gage Finch. Brenton Walker is coming out. I think this might be a direct snap to Crick. He's going to have Jeffrey Cochran in the backfield with him. It does look like Crick is expecting this snap to come in his direction. Takes it, starts running to the right. He's got all sorts of room as he gets in the end zone from 2 yards out in the first score for the Elk.
Guess that's one way to simplify it, is you take the quarterback running back exchange out of it, you just direct snap it, you get another blocker out in front, and
Little wildcat look to help, and yeah, they just had they had that right side sealed off right from the snap, and he was walking in the end zone.
Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown in the first here for the Elk on the season. That drive brought to you by Brody Crick. He had the return that went for it was about 70 yards, maybe 65, as the extra point is up and good, punctuating a short 15-yard drive that required just 3 plays, 2:32 to go first quarter. Round Valley strikes first, 7-0 Elk lead. It's Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, you should do it at your hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state. Now offering bachelor's degree programs in education and business. As this one's going to be given up on a reverse, run over the 20 and then over the 25. There's a long way to go. As on the return was Corey Edwards. Didn't really give them an awful lot of time to try to let that reverse develop.
No, they ran it fairly effectively last year, a time or two against us with Snowflake down there on their field, and then our boys started kind of catching on and figuring it out. Pinned them deep a couple of times after that.
Not bad field position. It's 27. They've got the 1 first down, and that was when they were really using Corey Edwards, who was there on that return. Edwards is not in the backfield, though. Oh, yeah, he is. Or is he? Oh, we'll take a look. As under center for the first time and not a short yardage situation, as that looked like there was all sorts of confusion. Nearly handed that one off to both of the running backs. Edwards was one of them, and he wound up getting decked for the second time here in the very early going. No gain.
Yeah, was that Tricky that came in from his outside linebacker spot? Those defensive linemen are doing a good job occupying the offensive line, and those linebackers are getting free runs. And they're making a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield right now.
7-0 Elk lead, under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's been an eventful first quarter, a couple of turnovers, and then a big return on a punt. Round Valley one touchdown and 1 first down. As a result of all that, receivers on either side, split backs. Connolly from the shotgun, second down and just about 10. Now creeping off toward the left side of the line. Earhart might have given Seton a little bit of extra to think about, maybe making him flinch. No, we got the Round Valley in the neutral zone. So perhaps Earhart was giving himself too much to think about.
Well, Round Valley's defensive line's definitely won that battle a few times up front, so that's a good call by Seton to try and slow him down a little bit, make him think about that snap count.
Certainly changes the complexion of the drive here by an awful lot. Second down now on 4-ish. Same formation with receivers and split backs on either side. Fake the handoff. Edwards. Pressure coming from Earhart. Still gets this one away and nearly intercepted. Cochran nearly taken that one, and had he had both of them, his hands, I should say, around that one, he's probably gone.
Yeah, that ball just hung up on the quarterback a little bit. They kind of ran the Fogarty was on the outside, run that post, and they were trying to run those safeties out of there, but they made a pretty good read and break on the ball, and that ball hung up and just about made a play on it.
Earhart nearly there with the sack after, I believe it was he who was whistled for that offsides infraction. And I wonder how much of his presence might have had to make that ball hang up as it did. Is now single back. Got 3 receivers coming off to the right side. Lone man on the left is Fogarty. Connolly under center, 3rd down and 4. Some aggressive counts there as they fake the pitch. Now starts rolling to his left. Throws this one underneath. Caught on the high pass. No, dislodged. As I believe there was Cochran. Yes, it was, getting in the way of that one. He nearly had an interception. Now he's probably bringing the punting unit out.
Yeah, just a good play, good timing. He couldn't make a play on the ball, but makes the play on the receiver and knocks that thing loose.
I got to again mention, Corey Edwards, 12 yards on 4 carries to start the ball game, and they haven't really gone to him since, just one since. Trying to break in a new quarterback. It seems like you have a capable running back there that you might want to feed while everybody get settled. I don't know. Am I again making too much here?
Well, it's I think they're trying to feel their way. Round Valley's doing a good job up front. Their defensive linemen move around. They're not lined up in the same place over and over again, and so they're making it tough on that offensive front for Seton.
Connolly didn't want any part of Crick.
No, and that's a good job on this turf. If you can just keep it away and, you don't need a great punt. You just get it low and let the turf do its job, and it'll roll for you.
Goes all the way back nearly to the 20. Round Valley's offense looked incredibly sharp when it had just 15 yards that it needed to get in the end zone. But here with more green, it hasn't necessarily been able to click. They have been riding Brody Crick a little bit. He's got 14 yards on 4 carries. Cage Finch right now, though, just 2 for 6, 19 yards. He has carried the ball once for 7. As those two are in the backfield right now, Earhart's going to move over to the left of the line and get split very wide out that direction. Finch from the shotgun with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in a 7-0 lead. Brings this one back, goes over the middle where he's got a man wide open, caught at the 30, and then look at the foot race. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Cochran. He has 2 huge defensive plays, and now he's got a 78-yard touchdown. And Round Valley's got a 13-0 lead.
Well, I'm just watching this and watching 5 of the Seton Catholic defenders are still not got up to the ball yet. I don't know if they're conditioning or if they're just
starting to feel the high altitude a little bit already.
Something's
a little bit
going on there because
it's also about 90 degrees in the dome here. So
that's definitely that up here. I hope it's not quite that down on the field. But.
Oh boy,
we go from 55 and raining last night to 90 and clear in here, I guess.
In to attempt the extra point is a fellow who's not on our roster, but he's got it up and good. 1 minute and 2 seconds left. 1 play, 78-yard drive. Finch able to connect with Cochran, and it's 14-0. Round Valley's in front. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down.
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state, and you can pursue bachelor's degrees in education and business. This time the reverse is faked, and a little bit of room going off to the left side. Fogarty spins off of one tackler, gets to the 35, and then is brought down at the 37. Let's take a look at that 78-yard touchdown, especially the execution there with Finch, and whether this is just a little play action look, or if this was RPO.
Yeah, we're not sure that RPO, or if they saw that those linebackers are flying up and just ran that. It was called the little tight end pop or something, but it was effective, whatever it was.
Well, I'm sure they'll bring it back out. 14-0. Pretty good field position here for Seton, which is now trailing by a couple of touchdowns. 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. Been able to move the chains once after the interception that started the ball game, and now that might have taken too much time. Well, Round Valley is going to take a timeout.
Must have seen something they didn't like on the defensive side there, their alignment.
14-0, Round Valley leading. 48 seconds to go. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
After Round Valley uses its second timeout, first quarter play, as this one handed off to Edwards, comes from the right to the left again, and is able to get to the line of scrimmage and then gain a couple of yards, but there's some swarming Elk defense, 3 of them there, led by Joa Brown.
Grinding out some hard yards there, but I think we were just talking. I think Seton's got to decide what they're going to commit to here. If they want to commit to that run game, and that play they had 2 in the backfield, 2 backs, so bringing in an extra blocker there to hopefully open things up a little bit, I think.
You understand the temptation to try to air it out with a talent like Fogarty, who's been open a couple of times. It's just the Round Valley front 7, I think, has been making it especially hard for Connolly to get his feet underneath him and deliver. As now Fogarty goes in motion right to left. He'll get the handoff, has to run away from 2 tacklers in the backfield, turns it up and gains 1, maybe 2 yards. So it'll be third down in the neighborhood of 5 to start the second quarter with Seton trailing 2 touchdowns. 14-0, Round Valley's up. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off. Makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
We're kicking off the second quarter. When you kick off your college education, you should do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state, and you can pursue bachelor's degrees in education and business. 14-0, Round Valley leading. It was a lengthy and eventful second quarter, but now facing third down and 5. Going to turn and give this one to Edwards. Runs to the right side, bursts through a couple of arm tackles, and then winds up gaining 7 yards when he needed but 5. And I'm again going to question why they aren't going in that direction an awful lot more.
Yeah, and I think, probably the two best plays that they've run on offense have been those short yardage power plays. And I'm not sure why they don't kind of hang their hat on that a little bit more. I think that's where they're going to have some success. They're bigger up front. But those linebackers are pursuing so well. The quicker they can get that running game going, I think the better.
Jumbo package again as Connolly goes under center. Turns, gives Edwards, this time going over the left side, but he ends up picking about 4 or 5. And again, if nothing else, you're keeping the Round Valley thoroughbreds off the field. Grinding this one out kind of like we saw yesterday with Chin Lee.
Yeah, good surge by the Seton offensive line on that play, going to the left side that time. They're starting to figure that out. And Mike hit that one on the head. It's tough to run side to side against fast teams.
Same formation, under center Connolly. This time it's going to be dislodged after it was initially handed off to C.J. Levin. And I don't know who it was. That Garcia who got there and blew that up?
Yeah, I believe it was at 24.
I think Garcia got there first, and then
big 78 is Brennan Brown. I think he was in there too.
Yeah, and just that little delay in the backfield, there was such good penetration off that left side. That run was designed to go to the right, but they ran that I don't know if it was a little delay or a counteraction back there, but that extra half second gave that defensive line some time to get into the backfield and make that play.
The ball's at midfield, and there's 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the half. It's just as soon as it looks as if Seton has started to establish a little bit of rhythm, there's another play from Round Valley's front. So now they've got Edwards off in the slot on the right side, Fogarty likewise on the left. From the shotgun, Connolly pressured, now moving to his right, going to try to outrun a couple of different Elk defenders, does so to get back to the line of scrimmage, but eventually is forced out of bounds. Crick there with the tackle, but a nice job by Connolly to avoid a huge loss.
Yeah, great pursuit. Number 50 coming off the edge on this side and not giving him any time to set up there. And Connolly showing some good mobility, but couldn't get to the edge and get enough yardage to keep going here.
Crick, who has one huge return on a punt in the first quarter that set up Round Valley's first touchdown, he's back. After that, Connolly, who's doing the punting, looked like he was doing everything in his power to try to make sure that stayed away from him. Low snap had, kicks this one, angling it out of bounds to the right side. It looks like it made it to about the 25, which isn't going to net an awful lot of yards, but he's also not going to give up a huge return. Well, he said it's out at the 20.
And I think as I get older and the more I've coached, I appreciated the way, Coach, that you guys coached last year. You just like the simplicity, find something you're good at it, stick to it, believe in it, give it time, it's going to work out. Feels like Seton Catholic is just kind of struggling to find, what they feel their identity is going to be. And it feels like the more they struggle, the more aggressive that Round Valley's getting, especially defensively, and they're just coming and coming and coming.
3 receivers come to the line. Finch, whose most recent pass play was a 78-yard strike to Cochran for a touchdown. Doesn't expect that one to come at him and hits him in the face mask, and now blowing that one dead. I think that one of the Sentinels was out of bounds or over the line of scrimmage.
He got across the line before that ball was snapped. So, yeah, I think it's important. You have to – that was always one of our mantras as coaches is establish an identity. You got to have an identity, and you got to stick to that. And I've referenced our game against Seton last year. It was a tough first half, especially the first quarter. We stuck, and we never did run the ball really well that night, but we stuck with it, and that was always part of our identity there.
1st and 5, fakes the handoff, throws this one toward the near sideline. It hangs up just long enough to allow for the defender to get there. Nice job there on the play to get the coverage as
Tricky almost came down with
it was Jimenez who was there on the coverage.
Yeah, and they had him again. That ball just hung up a little bit and allowed the safety to get over and make a play on that ball. And we were talking earlier about the arm strength of Finch. I think I'd like to see him, maybe not put so much air under that thing, try to get that ball to Tricky maybe in that seam or just behind the corner and, not let that safety come over the top of it.
Again, we 25 yards up the field, but from the far hash.
Well, that's a 50-yard throw.
Yeah. Second down and 5. They took a chance after getting that penalty. Now going to hand this one off to Crick, who's going to That's not Crick, actually. It's Cochran, who has the ball stripped away, but he's able to get underneath it and wind up getting his forward progress out to the 26 for a 1-yard gain. Hurtado is there with the stop and nearly the strip.
Yeah, good defense there on that the left side of their defense for Seton on that one, and very close to a strip there. He got that ball loose, and Cochran was lucky to hold on to that and get that right back in his hands before he took some more contact.
So third down now and 4. They rolled the dice on that first play after the penalty, and then nearly had a fumble, giving it right back as they hand this one off to Crick as he gets to the 30, dives forward, and is able to pick up another couple of yards. He knew exactly where he needed to get and winds up picking up a couple of extra.
It looks like they just outnumbered him here on the short side on the offense's right side. And, he pretty much went untouched till he got to the first down marker.
First down and 10, 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Second quarter, 14-0. Round Valley with the lead. Two receivers going out to the left is Finch with Crick on his left. Fakes the handoff, starts rolling in that direction. Holds it up, now throws this one over the top. Whoa, they had two receivers there as it was incomplete. The initial man that I thought that was intended for was Lane Hill, but eventually was going toward Kason Finch. And there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
And that's a tough again. He's rolling to the left, and again, I think if that ball had a little more zip on it, I think he gets it in there. He made a good read. It was a good play design, and they had that tight end, or I'm assuming it was a tight end coming open on that cross.
But yeah, I think Hill, number 8, had the best shot at that. It was and I think that might be who Crick intended to throw it to, but had some linemen downfield as well, so they picked up a penalty there.
So first and 15 after one of the linemen gets a little too far down there.
I think a couple of them.
Three receivers bunched up on the left side of the line. Turn and give Crick. Runs to the left side. Bounces it outside along the 30. Now gets to the 35. Turns the corners at the 40. He's on the far sideline 50. One man blocking in front of him as he gets to the 30 and steps out of bounds at the all the way back at the 45. Oh, talk about anticlimactic. 18 yards when it looked like it was nearly a touchdown.
Well, he's just got good quickness there. It looked like Seton had him hemmed in, and he just outran him to the corner. And he just, maybe half of his foot was out of bounds on that thing.
Make it first and 10 on the 45. Brody Crick, who's had a couple of big plays, including in special teams. Got the same formation as he stands on the left of Finch. And they turn and give to him, this time running right up the middle, but that's not Crick, that's Cochran. And he's able to fall forward and pick up 2.
Yeah, pulling 2 linemen across, just trying to get more blockers to the point of attack, and they managed to get about 3 there.
Sloan Sweet eventually there with the stop. Forces it into, they're going to give him 3. Second down and 7. Got an awful lot of skill players coming in and out as Tricky is just replaced by Brenton Walker. Now he's right back out there.
I don't know how that's not an illegal substitution. You can't come in from the sideline and not. You have to break the numbers, right?
Got to come inside the numbers.
The number or the hat? Is it the numbers?
Numbers.
Yeah, he's good then.
Finch has that one thrown across his body, trying to get it to Lane Hill, but Luke Castro is there making sure that he was able to pick it up off the shoe top, so third down and 7.
Well, I always wonder, right, you feel like you're giving kids breaks, summing them in and out, play, but you're making them run 40-yard sprints to get on and off the field. I don't know if it's really a break or not.
Third down and 7. It's a 14-0 game, but outside of a couple of big plays from Round Valley, it's been pretty nip and tuck. Tricky and Walker wind up wide to the right. And I believe that's Crick in the backfield with Finch, who starts moving the pocket in this direction. Slams on the brakes, wants to run it, now reverses his field. He's over midfield at the 50 to the 45, has the first down, cuts it up and gets to the 40. Gain of 15 yards and into Seton territory.
Yeah, really
good decision there. You like to see that from a quarterback. He doesn't see anything open downfield that he's comfortable throwing, and then reverses his field, and it was kind of a great play by him to pick up that first down.
Now Seton won the toss and elected to defer, got the interception, and seemed as if it was right and high, but the Sentinels have not been able to do much on the offensive side, and as Round Valley's right now milking the clock, running this into potentially making it so that not going to have much to work with. As this one, fake the handoff, Cochran, throw this one, Tricky, who gets belted. Knocked down immediately by Hurtado. Does gain 4. It's just a 4th completion for Finch, and he's already over the 100-yard marker.
It's actually number 9, J.J. Logan, that made that reception. But, cornerback saw that coming. He was right on it.
2nd down and 6. And Round Valley being very methodical here in the closing moments of the first half, already with a 14-0 lead. 3 receivers with 2 going out wide left. Turn and give. Crick accelerates to the left side, gets over the 30, steps to the left, and then comes back to the right, gets all the way inside the 20, into the red zone. Go the Elk after that 17-yard carry.
Yeah, and I don't know if that defensive end is lining up outside or if they're just kicking him out, but they're getting that defensive end kicked out, and that's creating a really good seam that running back is hitting pretty quick.
Yeah, it was wide open with no linebacker inside either to come up and fill. That's probably a missed assignment from somebody there on a lineman or assignment.
I think I just heard that Sholo's beating Florence 21-0. Should I be wrong to be surprised by that?
Yeah. I know Florence they're expected to be pretty good, but Sholo brings back a lot, and second year for a coaching staff with,
Well, they were playing pretty well at the end of the year, much better at the end of the year than they were early in the year.
Timeout taken by Round Valley. Won't have any more with 5 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the second quarter. 14-0, the Elk lead. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
All right, I can confirm 21-0. Sholo leading at Florence, so that as reported by Max Preps.
Nice.
Those guys are never wrong. 14-0 here, Round Valley leading.
Well, I think Round Valley's physicality is now starting to take a toll, it feels like.
Got the snap had by Finch, picks up a block, and now cuts it up over the 15, gets to the 10, has a first down after a 12-yard gain. And there, I think, is further evidence of what you were just observing.
I agree, and good run by Finch, but give Cochran credit for seeing an unblocked man coming through and turning and picking him up to spring him for that run.
Yeah, I was just thinking when I saw that, Round Valley's really well coached, right? Because he looked like he was supposed to lead up through there, didn't see anyone, turned and picked up, the kid coming from the side. So.
First and goal, 4.5 minutes to go in the half. 14-0 Round Valley with the edge. 3 receivers with 2 going wide left. Cochran's in the backfield. They're going to pull it back. Finch starts moving to the left. Zigs and zags. Now is diving for the pylon. He's in.
Oh, he's got another gear, doesn't he?
Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown from 8 yards out.
That was a heck of a football play right there. He got out on the edge one-on-one and a little fake inside and outside, and he dropped 2 Seton defenders, and then he had that burst just to get to the front corner of the end zone. It was a really good run.
Now, with all the struggles that Seton Catholic has been demonstrating on the offensive side, this is starting to feel like it's unraveling a little bit. 4A team moves down to 3A and is forced to come all the way up here. Right now being handled, I guess we might say, by the Elk as this extra point is up and good to make it 21-0, 4:20 to go in the second quarter. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7, iTalk106.7.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
21-0 Round Valley. Looked like as if it was trying to grind that out, but got a couple of huge running plays, the last of which from 8 yards out. Cage Finch would get his first rushing touchdown. And now a 3-score lead here for the Elk in the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, you should do so at Northland Pioneer College. That stayed in bounds. Oh, boy.
Lucky bounce for the Elks there that got just inside the pylon, it looks like.
Ooh-wee. You can get bachelor's degrees in education and business. Yes, just like he drew it up, says the PA.
You know, going to break, you were mentioning that Round Valley is kind of finding their footing sooner than Seton Catholic here. I think that a long trip up here, and the Dome is traditionally a very hard place to play, and so falling behind is going to be a real challenge for them. They're going to have to find some things quickly here to try and get back in this game.
Got Patrick Connolly coming out to operate as a signal caller, 1 for 5 for -5 yards. Corey Edwards, 26 yards on 8 carries, standing on his right. Got 2 receivers going in that direction as well, with Fogarty, the lone man, on the left. Going to have Connolly move the pocket to the right. Now going to unload going down the far sideline, and have that one brought down near the 50. Nice catch there from Bailey Mendoza.
Yeah, really good play design to roll the quarterback out and give him some time to throw the ball. I think calling it on first down helped out as well, because Round Valley didn't have as much pressure as they've had, up to this point in the game so far, and a nice out and up with that wide out.
Now I got to mention that Seton Catholic is going to get the ball to start the second half, so get some points here. That might change the complexion of the ball game by a little bit of a smidge, as there Connolly throws this one over the top, caught and brought down at the 40, but not before a 7-yard gain there for Allo.
Nice little play. Seton they're seeing some holes out there too, and Round Valley does like to bring pressure. So if they can find where those linebackers are vacating, then they can find some dink and dunk passes like that to move the ball.
21-0, but Seton Catholic has moved into Round Valley territory. 2nd down and 3 from the 40. Connolly is connected on the last 2, has a low snap, able to get that one up and unload that one before he's brought down. It would have been a sack. Nice job avoiding that one and preserving 3rd and short.
And I do think, I do think Seton has some advantages out on the perimeter with 3 and 4, Fogarty and Mendoza. And I think, they'll be able to run the corners and the safeties off. And so, like you said, they're bringing that linebacker pressure. You can get a tight end or a back in that vacated area. You're going to have a lot of success doing that.
3rd down and 3. Clock stopped at 3 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second. Mendoza, who just had the nifty catch for 33 yards, Single coverage here on the left side. Connolly from the shotgun. Another low snap, picks this one up, flips that one over, and again has it to Allo, who's able to get the first down, caught it to 34. Gain of 6 and moves the chains and stops the clock.
Exactly what Coach Brogan was mentioning just now, that they ran the corner off and released the tight end or a slot receiver out into the flat out there and converted that first down. Nice play call.
J.J. Logan hustles out to take over at corner on the left side there of Round Valley's defense.
I like this idea of stacking Fogarty and Mendoza over here.
It's a lot to deal with on one side of a formation.
Berber is the running back there, standing on Connell's left. Another low snap that he's able to get down. Now moves the pocket to the left, flips this one over, and has Mendoza caught at the 30. It's an awfully long way to go to get 5 yards.
Yeah, this is reminiscent to the old Randy Reisdorf stuff, right from a day or two ago.
Yeah, Round Valley's playing a pretty straight man-to-man look, and I think Seaton's going to find they may have the advantage there on some of these matchups with these two receivers that you're talking about.
2:33 left in the half, and a very patient approach to the line of scrimmage here for the Sentinels. Two receivers on either side. Berber is going to remain as the running back. Edwards lined up left side in the slot. Connolly taking his time at the line of scrimmage. A little bit of pressure being shown by the Elk as he gets the snap, looks in the right side, going to flip this one toward the goal line. Players get tangled up, and a flag comes out.
So that's a tough one. A lot of contact there, but.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if he was stumbling. Certainly there was a hand, and, well.
I think that was Logan there on the coverage. I don't know if he necessarily had to go and make sure he didn't give up a touchdown. That was going to be a pretty tough catch with Logan standing in front. But, again, with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left here in the half, you think he's probably right to gamble and make sure that he's not going to forfeit points there?
Yeah, I don't know if he even saw the ball coming. It didn't look like he got his head around. I think he was just trying to cut that route off. And just got his hands in as the ball was getting there. So it probably looked a little worse than it was, but certainly understand why the official called it after you see the replay.
Yeah, too much contact.
First down and 10 from the Round Valley 15. This is as far as Seton has been able to penetrate into Round Valley territory. Edwards moves over from the left to the right side in the backfield. Fake the handoff, pressured again. Flip this one over the top of the defense. And Berber with the catch. Fumble picked up by Round Valley. They're going to rule that as a fumble. No, they're ruling it as an incomplete.
Ooh, another tough call goes against the Elks there on that. That sure looked like he.
Oh, he caught that, baby.
Caught that and turned, and that's a tough call.
Well, and interested to know what the responsibilities for each official are, because you got the side judge who's got a really good look, and it's the back judge who comes in and waves that off.
Waved it off.
So, I'm wondering if he saw a bobble or something that we didn't see, or but it felt like that side judge had a pretty good look at it, and he threw his beanbag out to that he thought it was a fumble.
Second down and 10 after the Sentinels perhaps catch a little bit of a break. Mendoza and Fogarty left to right, split wide, got split backs on either side of Connolly. Another low snap. Give this one to Berber. Nice there. Nod toward that young man after it seemed as if he had fumbled his previous play. Is given an opportunity and is able to hang on to only gain 1 or 2 yards. Timeout taken by Seton Catholic. 1 minute and 49 seconds left. We'll take it with them. 21-0 Round Valley leads. It's Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share, you need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
3rd down and 9 for Seton Catholic. Same formation with split backs and receivers on either side. Look about a little pressure coming from the right side of the line there. And I think that Connolly just saw it. That's Crick, who is now, we've got a nice slant route there that was delivered, but oh boy, better defense. And now the same official who had said that it was not a fumble. Oh, and now we got another flag coming out after Round Valley's sideline. Did not seem like it was confident that the correct call was made.
Well, you can understand the frustration, but I think if we see a replay there, we probably will see that contact was maybe just a half second early. Enough to affect his ability to catch the ball there. So
that was a great route and a great delivery.
But I think what the problem with that penalty from the coach, though, is that it wouldn't have been a first down because it's going to be half the distance on the interference. But the personal foul now is going to give them the first down. So they would have still had a 3rd down on there. So you got to just.
I think that perhaps
keep it in check.
The Round Valley staff was expressing frustration that it was the same official who had made the first call that seemed as if it was in the gray area. Then threw that flag that might have been drawing most of the rage. So a minute and 44 seconds left. The ball is at the 4-yard line, maybe the 3. Jumbo package with Edwards deep. Connolly under center. Turn and give to Edwards. Tries the left side and is stopped after a 1-yard gain.
Surprised Round Valley took a timeout on the 3rd down and didn't take one here.
Clock running at a minute and a half, and again, Seton Catholic going to get the ball to start the second half, so they're able to punch this in. The offense showing signs of life. This game could get much more interesting as they got the same formation. Edwards deep, turning, going to try the right side, big hole, but stood up at the goal line, though not before he was able to get in a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown from 2 yards out.
Yeah, again, that power formations really benefited them, I think, when they get in those short yardage situations. When they go with those 3 backs, they've had some success doing that.
Yeah, when they don't, when they manage to block linebackers and don't have somebody fill right away, they manage to get 3 or 4 yards on those carries. So.
Patrick Connolly came into that drive 1 for 6 for -5 yards. On that drive, 4 for 6 for 52. As the extra point is up and good.
And they were solid, some shorter passes that they were throwing. He's throwing it across the field, showing some arm strength that way. But just, establishing a little bit of a rhythm, making something happen on offense.
Minute and 13 seconds left. We'll keep it here. As we'll tell you that the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show is going to be happening here shortly. It's got the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. You go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. It's going to be the debut of Guy Chili. He's going to take you through the big drives and scoring plays and give you the numbers. All that coming up here.
A little interesting here to see what Round Valley does. They haven't had a whole lot of success throwing the ball deep, but they get that field spread, let the quarterback run. They've gotten some big runs out of that. Be interested to see if they kind of lean towards that if they're going to throw the ball up a couple of times here.
They do have a timeout left. I was incorrect about that. As this one angling toward Walker, takes this one at the 20, now starts to serpentine out to the 30 and is going to give his team pretty good field position out at the 34. Well, make that the 36.
Yeah, they've shown they can throw the ball deep. I think if he doesn't put quite so much air under it, he might have a chance. But with one timeout, and we'll see where they're at with their 2-minute drill type offense here in this last minute of the quarter.
Also, the kicker, whose name we have not been able to gather, has demonstrated he's got a reasonably good leg. Round Valley traditionally has a pretty good kicker. Has got an empty backfield for Finch. 2 receivers on either side. Starts directing traffic. Has this one caught by Lane, but it's for a very short gain of 4.
And interesting, Seaton's safety was 25 yards off the ball. So certainly know how they're playing this possession. So that's probably a good decision there by Finch, but probably got to get this next play called a little quicker than they're doing right now.
45 seconds left, still going with the empty backfield. There's a third receiver going out wide to the left. Finch pressured, now he's going to run up, have some opportunity. Now he's got a man deep down the field, caught there by Cochran as he spins around 2 tacklers at the 30. Now he's in a foot race at the 20, the 10, the 5. He's in the end zone. A touchdown when it looked as if first Finch was going to be stopped in the backfield, and then Cochran was going to be stopped at the 30.
Well, a great play there by Finch. He stepped up, and it looks like he had some room to run. I think as he stepped up, he drew the attention of the safeties, and Cochran just kind of got in the middle of the field, and a really good find, good throw. Probably Seton wished they might be tackling the player instead of the football there at the 20, but a really good, tough run to finish that thing and get in the end zone by Cochran.
Take a look ahead at the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, as Crick has put fingerprints all over it, but Cochran, as the extra point is up and good. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 129 yards. And that last one looked like it was designed for Friday Night Lights. They just don't usually see somebody haul in that catch and then bounce off 2 tacklers while hanging on to everything.
Well, you wonder if the Seton defender might have gone for more ball than tackle there or something. He sure slipped off from him though and left him standing and nobody else to catch up with him. Amador Garcia, I believe, is the name of our Round Valley kicker, and he's looking good too. He's been solid on his PATs.
28-7, it just looked as if everything was starting to shift Seton Catholic's way. And then Cochran said, not so fast.
Well, that's such a hard thing. You're teaching your kids to be aggressive, and certainly you run drills where you teach how to strip the football and things like that. But the hardest thing, I think, to teach high school athletes is to understand time and score and when it's appropriate, when it's not. You know, if they just make that tackle at the 20-yard line, they got 30 seconds, puts a little more pressure on the offense, and then they're going to be rushing. You know, whereas you go for that strip, you end up giving up a touchdown on that thing. So not a bad play, but just maybe not the right time for that.
Now what's the strategy here with the kickoff? 26 seconds left. Do you want to give Seton Catholic an opportunity to put together a return?
See a lot of teams probably squib this one on the ground, not give them much of a chance to return it. Field position's not going to be as important as just not giving up anything else.
This one's low and angling away from everybody. Taken by Edwards at the 5, and then quickly bounces out at the 15. He's only given up 5 yards by not letting that go into the end zone, but does sacrifice 5 seconds as well.
Well, and we saw Seton kind of drop back into a prevent D, and it didn't work for him. We'll see if Round Valley manages to play it a little better.
Got Mendoza and Fogarty who are coming out, 2 capable receivers. Mendoza had the acrobatic catch on the last drive. And that was enough to get Seton in the end zone, though, with some penalty flag help provided by the Elk, especially once they got into the red zone. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm telling you, it is hot in the dome. And we got one of the Sentinels right now stretching out. Oh, that's Edwards.
Maybe that's why he ran out of bounds.
Would not fault him. He's got about an extra 6,000 feet of elevation, and it is smoking hot in here. So he's going to be tended to. Take a look at the Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Right now, it looks like it's just a cramp. But I say just a cramp. He's been out there for every play thus far, I believe, doing the return duties as well. And I don't know if I complained about this, but it's hot in here.
It is. It is hot in here. Unfortunately, that means they'll lose him for a key play here if they're going to take a shot. We'll see if Seton's going to take a shot or two down the field, or if they're going to go in and try to regroup and come up with a plan for the second half.
Well, he's able to trot off under his own power, so again, just a cramp. Going to bring out Levin to replace him. Keep an eye on Berber as well. They've tried to hit him with something that seems as if it's at least screen adjacent. A lot of the passing plays that they were able to have success with Connolly came just by dumping it over the top of the line, kind of allowing for Round Valley to bring some pressure in there, which the Elk front seven has been on the spot. And it looks like they're just going to take a knee and go into the second half, trailing 3 touchdowns. There it is. But it took a while to get things going. There was an awful lot of activity, just none of it very positive. But once Crick was able to get that big return, everything really started getting greased for the Elk, because they're going to take a 28-7 halftime lead. And on the other end of this, we'll start the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show as you listen and watch Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on Night Talk 106.7 and NightTalk1067.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down.
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
This is iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. 28-7. Round Valley leading. started off with both teams kind of sputtering. You had an interception, you had a first down, but then that drive stalled. You had Round Valley that also couldn't move the chains, but then was able to pick up a break on a fumbled punt that set up eventually Crick's long return that got the Elk in the end zone. That seemed like it kind of settled Round Valley. Is that one way of looking at that everybody was just a little bit tight, and that after they started getting a little bit of success, it's like a basketball game. As soon as you see the ball go in the hoop, then it starts to get a little bit more natural for you? Or what do you attribute the slow start?
I can speak as a coach. That definitely every game you kind of go in feeling that. And yeah, once you kind of see some points going on the board and some of the execution working out and the things that you know that you're good at, then that always helps settle your nerves a little bit. They went on and put a couple more touchdowns up on the board, and I know you'll go through that, but then you worry about a little bit of a letdown. Do you mentally start to let down a little bit and say, oh, we got this? Teenage boys this age, they tend to start coasting a little bit when they can, and so you don't want to see that.
What kind of adjustments did you notice first from the Round Valley side? Is it looked like at the start of it they're really trying to go vertical, as you can see there, one of the passes that Finch had attempted that was nearly intercepted that went alongside the one that he was. It seemed as if they started to first rely on Crick and then shorten the passing game a little bit, or am I oversimplifying?
They definitely went for that big play early, and you got to think that they just wanted to do it. You're not working off from a lot of film or anything this early in the season to see that you want to try to take advantage of a safety or a corner or something like that. But Round Valley's definitely the team that first got their running game going a little bit more. I think it looks to me like they're running some run-pass option type looks, just judging from the way that the lineman, you'll see the lineman getting off the ball, but you'll see the quarterback ride that fake and then pull it, and sometimes he's running it, sometimes he's throwing it down the field, and so that's become effective for him, and those are those short passes that you're seeing. He's got receivers that are finding open spots on the field, and he's either finding them or he's been able to run the ball effectively too.
Now, on the other side of that, Seton Catholic did not do much until the last drive when it was able to go 80 yards and get the score to make it at the time a much more manageable 21-7. First play, long down the far sideline, but after that, a lot of dink and dunk. Is that the sort of thing that they need to rely on in the second half?
Yeah, I think certainly I think they found some stuff, but it's a game of adjustments, all right? So that's certainly going to work. First half, Round Valley is more aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised to see Round Valley maybe take a step back in the aggressiveness a little bit. I don't know. That's not really their nature, though. But you're just going to have to see what the defense is going to give you. But that's certainly where I would start. But if I'm the Seton coach, I'm kind of the message I'm giving to my boys is, hey, look, we gave up that long punt return that led to a touchdown. We fumbled that they were able to run that thing down. We gave up a punt return and then a broken tackle. So this game is 3 plays away from being 7-7. So don't get discouraged at that score. Just come out, execute, do things well, and we're right in this football game, and try to get them refocused on just competing. Take that first drive, try to do something really positive with it, build some positive momentum, and then you can figure out where to go from there.
28-7 at halftime. Round Valley leading Seton Catholic, as this is the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. Guy Chili going to take you through the scoring plays. Right after this, it's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school. Learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Hi, this is Guy Chilali with the Halftime Scores and Stats, brought to you by Hyundai Ski and Outdoor Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to Hyundai Ski and Outdoor Store, north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. All right, scoring plays mostly started with Round Valley. They scored the first 3 touchdowns. The first one was by Brody Creek. He had a 2-yard run, and Armador had the kick. Jeffrey Cochran followed that up with a 78-yard reception from Cage Finch. Cage Finch then followed that up with an 8-yard touchdown. Armador with the kick. Seton scored in the second quarter. Corey Edwards on a 2-yard run, and Nicholas Martin with the extra point. Jeffrey Cochran caught a 63-yard pass from Cage Finch to round out the scoring. Armador with the kick. Total yards for Round Valley was 240. Seton had 69. Round Valley had time of possession 10 minutes 38 seconds. Seton with 13:22. Round Valley's leading rusher was Brody Crick, or he was passing, I'm sorry. 6 for 12 for 156 yards. And Jeffrey Cochran had 7 receptions for 55 yards. Seton's Patrick Conley was 8 for 13 for 57 yards. And Corey Edwards was 10 rushes for 29 yards. An overall exciting first half for Round Valley. And let's go to break.
been iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Getting ready to start the second half here at Round Valley. The Elk lead 28-7 over the Seton Catholic Sentinels. Talked an awful lot about how it got off to a slow start. Round Valley eventually able to use Cage Finch, who has now thrown 6 of 12, 2 touchdowns for 156 yards. Both of those touchdowns to Jeffrey Cochran, who's responsible for 129 yards. Got Brody Crick, who's carried the ball 7 times for 55 yards. He has a touchdown. Finch has also had 42 yards and an 8-yard touchdown run. On the other side of it, outside of that last drive for the Sentinels, Round Valley's defense has done an excellent job. We were looking at some of the replays when we were talking about that, and it seemed as if, when you're just looking at the end of that play, that it's been Round Valley cornerbacks that have really been making things difficult, especially for Mendoza and Fogarty. But I think that this is really a classic demonstration of a true team effort because of all of the pressure that they were able to get using that front 7. It's making the corners' jobs so much more simple. Or again, I ask, am I oversimplifying?
No, I think you're right on with that. You know, that quarterback, if he can't feel comfortable back there and have just another second for those receivers to run a route and get where they're comfortable for him to deliver that ball, then going to be pretty tough for them. We were making the comment around both teams are very well coached. Coach Walheim with Seton, he's been around a few different places. Coach Baca now here in Round Valley and his coaching staff, they're really well coached. And for first game of the year, you got to be impressed with the level of play of both of these teams. They're both ranked in the top 10 in 3A, and some have Seton higher than Round Valley, and others Round Valley higher than Seton. But two teams that I think are definitely top 10 3A teams here.
So Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, you so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state as Fogarty fakes the reverse, and he's gone. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek, having a little bit of fun with the reverse, but that time they did just enough to put it in Round Valley's heads, and it's a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown. And how huge is Cochran's catch and touchdown at the close of the first half now?
Yeah, it's just that fake reverse and that reverse that they run, it's making all the Round Valley kids stay in their lanes maybe 2 or 3 steps longer than maybe they normally would, and it's kind of given them some seams that they've hit, and boy, you couldn't ask for a better way to start the half.
Right now, 1 point away from cutting Round Valley's lead in half. Boy, this dome sure did get quiet fast.
It's because everybody's dehydrated.
Well executed on the kick return. Some really good blocks out there too, and that's exactly what Seton Catholic needs to try to get back in this ball game.
Kick is very low, but does just enough to get over the crossbar. 28-14 after what I believe was an 85-yard kickoff return by Fogarty to have a quick strike. Round Valley still with the edge, and we'll get the ball after this. It's Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Nicholas Martin set to kick it off. When you're set to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state. Get a bachelor's degree in education and business if you so choose. As this one is going to be tagged and then run over the 30. It's a pretty good return there from Tricky. Now, how important is this drive for Round Valley? The last time that Seton Catholic had an actual opportunity, was able to go about 80 yards and get a touchdown, then got the huge special teams play. So I guess you could look at this as over the last 3 possessions, got Seton Catholic outscoring Round Valley 14-7, but the Elks still with a 28-14 lead. Is it more important to hang on to the football for a while? Do they need to answer with points, or what's the approach at this juncture?
I think you'll take it either way here. The important thing is going to be getting the stop the next time. You don't want to get in a track meet where you're just matching score for score. But
Crick is able to run over the left side and pick up 10 yards on a first down. Was brought down by his necktie.
Yeah, and I was thinking this probably is a more important possession for Seton. Just because they gave up that quick score last time. If they give up another quick score, it's going to be deflating almost for them. But if they get a stop, I think they'll start getting some confidence.
3 receivers, 2 coming to the near side. Includes Brent Walker split wide right. Finch from the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Crick pressured from behind. Now he's going to have to unload, but he's going to be brought down eventually. Huge sack there from James Boyle, who was able to outrun the first blocker And it seemed as if that's the first time Finch has really faced any pressure in the pocket, that he was just kind of caught unawares that such a thing might be a happen.
Yeah, I think the secondary did a really good job. I mean, that's probably your textbook definition of a coverage sack there that allowed him a little bit of time to run around. Really good effort, didn't stop on the play.
Just 5-yard loss, 2nd down and 15. Come out with the 2 receivers again on the right side. Got an extra man off the right side in the line of scrimmage. Instead, the handoff goes quick as he accelerates over the 50. Gets all 5 of those yards back, plus another couple, make it 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes they just find a huge hole off that right side. I don't know if it's the blocking or an alignment that they're seeing that they're audibling to, but it's definitely wide open there when they run that play a few times off tackle to the right.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, are they getting linemen up on the linebackers, because there doesn't seem to be any flow, to stop any of that outside run game.
3rd down and 6. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left. 3rd quarter, 28-14. Round Valley with the edge. Got the same formation. Here's the handoff. Goes Crick. This time running along the line of scrimmage. Turns it up at the 45. Stays on his feet down to the 43. Sets up 4th and short. This is going to be a big decision.
Well, if they went for it on the first drive of the game, there's no doubt in my mind they're going for this one.
76 yards on 10 carries now for Brody Crick. And I don't remember who does the punting for the Elk, but
yeah, they may not either.
It doesn't seem as if anybody who looks the part is coming out there. Laid off the sideline is Kason Finch. A little bit of confusion as Finch is now back off the sideline. I think that this is going to be a direct snap, or is that? No, that is Finch back there. Has to make a man miss in the backfield and then gets stopped at the 45 or 2-yard loss. That looked disjointed from the Round Valley perspective from almost the onset.
Yeah, it was, and that little bit of hesitation when he took that snap allowed the penetration and the stop there for Seton Catholic. Big opportunity for Seton Catholic here if they can put together a drive.
Going to have excellent field position, a sack, and then stopping the quarterback on a design run. 28-14, the Sentinels trail, 8.5 to go 3rd quarter. And here is Connolly, who'd started to establish a rhythm. He's got 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Pressure by Earhart from behind. Now got some more pressure from Brown, still able to unload this one down the far sideline. Overthrown it incomplete, but he did a great job again just unloading that.
Yeah, that's I've been impressed with his, I don't know if I'd call it elusiveness or athleticism, but it looked like they had him a couple of times when he gets out on that right edge, and he's been able to escape enough to get rid of the ball. I didn't think he had a chance to get rid of that thing. He did a really good job.
2nd down and 10. As now 3 receivers come out wide left. Believe that's Edwards off on his right in the backfield. Shotgun as he asks for the snap. Round Valley and nearly jumps in the neutral zone. Now resets. Asks for the snap, fakes the handoff. No, does give it to Edwards. Bounces off one tackler, gets back to the, no, he does not get back to the line of scrimmage. That is a long run for a loss of 1. Kason Finch there with the stop.
Yeah, really good job there, keeping contain out. There was, looked like whoever was in there first went for that big hit and didn't wrap him up, but pretty good strong run to bounce that thing out, but really good integrity on this side of the field by the corner and the safety. Didn't ever give him a place to turn up, and then they made the tackle when he got out there.
That was actually a 2-yard loss. Third down now and 12. Connolly from the shotgun. A little bit of a hold there on the line. Going to allow him to move the pocket to the right side. Now unload this one. A flag comes out late. This is picked off at the 25-yard line. This should stand as guess who? Cochran now running from the right, left to the right side. Comes all the way to the near side over the 50. He's at the 40 down the sideline. Still on his feet at the 30 and down to the 25. This flag that is down, I presume, is going to be a hold.
hold that they should be able to decline and take that play, I believe.
Oh, we got a sentinel down at the Round Valley sideline, but again, he might just be gassed and hot.
Like the rest of us.
Oh, illegal man downfield is declined, so it wasn't a hold, but just as good as Cochran, who has 2 receptions for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns, now has an interception that he returned for 50 plus. And again, in this game that is watched so many times, these teams exchanging momentum. Just as soon as Seton Catholic looks like it's about to start surfing. Big turnover, bigger return, as he returned at 50 yards, but I think he had to run about 75 to get him. Now here come the Elk, approaching the red zone, leading 28-14. No, they did pick up a first down on a 10-yard run from Crick. But after that, things started happening with some sacks and stops in the backfield. Crick now running from the right to the left, gets over the 20, picks up 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're running that old Oregon inverted veer and just kind of riding that running back and giving him that outside look. I'm sure they're reading that defensive end or that outside linebacker. And when he steps in, they're just handing the ball off. And they're getting pretty good mileage out of that. I would expect that to be a staple, that kind of that stretch handoff they've been running to this right side. I don't know why they would go to anything else right now.
Logan Hess just comes off the field for Seton Catholic and had just another one of the Sentinels who was slow getting up. That was Joseph Bruce. So the biggins for the Sentinels seeming like they're not having a good time here in this elevation. As this one fake the handoff, throw this one over the top, caught and then stopped inside the 5. Is there with the nifty catch is Lane Hill, and an even niftier delivery there from Finch.
Nice little pass there. Didn't even pull his arm back. He just kind of rode that fake and then tossed it over the top. And great patience by the receiver to. A lot of guys will have a tendency to jump up to try to get that ball in their hands sooner. He ran under it and made sure he was there.
16 yards, move it down to the 1. First down and goal. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Round Valley looking to reclaim a 3-touchdown lead. Crick is in the backfield. 3 receivers coming out to the near side. Lone man on the left is Earhart. From the gun, handed off Crick to the left side. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown from 1 yard out. And the huge interception there from Cochran is made good on a 25-yard drive.
Round Valley starting to have some success running their, we call that a GY look. They're pulling the backside guard and they're pulling a tight end across the formation to get some extra blockers to the play side and opened up a nice hole there.
It's interesting, and of course the elevation has something to do with this, as Garcia's extra point is up and good, that the team from the hot part of the state is playing in a place that feels like a Spitz and seems like they're having the harder time dealing with it. As we've seen the big guys from Seton, as you talk about the blocking scheme there from Round Valley, but I wonder how much of that they're being helped just because the other guys are getting worn out. Anyway, 5:47 to go, third quarter. Round Valley leading 35-14. It's Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in the state. Get a bachelor's degree in education and business. And speaking of business, a business decision there being made by one of the up men.
Well, I guess he's coachable, because if I was him, I'd have kept running that thing. That was his one shot at glory, man. But you know his coaches told him, you touch that thing, you get down.
You got that number on your back, you're not going to see the ball very often.
That's right. That's a once in a lifetime.
35-14. Round Valley gave up the long play on the faked reverse on the kickoff to start the second half, and then wound up giving it up on downs. Excellent field position for Seton Catholic, but couldn't take advantage. And now trailing again by 21, with time becoming a little bit of an issue. 5:44 to go in the third quarter. Mendoza on the left, Fogarty on the right. I formation behind Connolly, who is, no, he's going to need to take a timeout. No, that's not that signal. He's back under the center as he takes the snap, turns and gives, as bouncing out to the left side and eventually forced out of bounds is Berber. No, that's 11.
Yeah, not a bad little run there. He made the first guy miss in the backfield and was able to get the edge, and a really good gain on first down.
Picks up 3. Interesting that Edwards is not out there, but we watched him cramp up at the end of the first half. The consistent point of conversation since everybody started trickling into the dome here is hot. And I think Seton Catholic right now is thinking it was going to get a nice day, a nice trip up to the mountains. Nice, cool football game. LOL. Second down and 5, 5:40 to go. Connolly from the gun. He's got Berber behind him now as he throws this one off to Fogarty. It was off his fingertips, and Round Valley's defenders had fallen down. Had that not happened, that could have been intercepted.
Yeah, or even a catch. I don't know that there was a whole lot there for him. He didn't have any. It's kind of a naked little bubble pass out there with no blocking for him.
Rome Jeans was in the neighborhood. We've seen Round Valley start to really shuttle in, especially in the secondary. Quite a few players as facing a third down and 5. A stop here feels like a pretty big accomplishment. He's got 2 receivers off on the right side, including Allo. He moves up and is on the line with Fogarty behind him. Connolly, again, taking an awful lot of time at the line of scrimmage. I wonder if that's, yeah, there it is. I'm looking around for a play clock. And perhaps Connolly is doing the same. But you'd think the internal clock would kick in there because it's been taking a while.
Yeah, usually that back judge is going to start waving his arm at that point when there's not a play clock present, but I didn't notice that they were that deep in it either.
Third down now and 10. So it's at the Seton 36-yard line with still lots of time. I just said time is becoming a factor, but I don't think it's time to start going for it on fourth down relatively deep in your own territory. 2 receivers on either side. You got Berber back out there as the running back. Edwards, I believe, is on the slot on the left. Snap had. Connolly drops back with time. Now he starts to move up in the pocket. He's going to tuck and go. He's at the 40, the 45, pushed out of bounds, very close to the yard marker. I think he's got it. Needed 10 yards. He got 11.
Yeah, good decision there. He had enough speed to just barely get where he needed to go for that first down.
Round Valley had been showing an awful lot of pressure or had been able to get to the backfield prior to that. Were they just kind of peeling back and playing a little bit more safe, do you think?
Yeah, that one looked like they pulled back. They only rushed 3, and they did a pretty good job in the pocket. The Seton Catholic offensive lineman did.
Got an I formation with Edwards deep. Under center, Connolly. Another hard count. Round Valley has been able to jump, or has been able to get Round Valley to jump once or twice, but not so this time. He goes back under center now after changing the play. Lots of traffic in the backfield, but Berber is able to run right by him, nearly fumbles it again, but is able to gain 11 and another first down. Finch there with the stop, but man, it looked like he was going to have him stop dead to rights in the backfield.
Yeah, just a little different look there for him with a quick dive handoff just straight up the middle and a good surge there. It was effective.
It looks like those the Round Valley defensive linemen kind of over pursued that a little bit, not expecting that quick hit.
Most of the runs have been off tackle on going outside, so that caught him off guard.
Trips right. Berber still in the backfield now on the right side of Connolly. 1st and 10, 47, 35, 40. 35-14, Round Valley with the lead. As he's being hit, he's able to get that one unloaded to Mendoza. He starts to bob and weave around a couple of different tacklers, winds up gaining 4.
It looked like that ball might have come out there a little bit. He was kind of holding that out away from his body a little bit, but pretty good quarterback under pressure there. Got rid of that ball, kept his composure, and delivered that thing to the right spot.
Jeans back out there and getting the stop. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Used a couple of 10-yard runs, one of them with a scampering quarterback to move the chains, get it back into Round Valley territory. Again, trying to make this a 2-touchdown deficit. Got split backs, receivers on either side. As this high snap is brought down. And this time the ball is definitely out. Scooped up by one of the Elk. It's Cochran again. Edwards there with the stop, but he had committed the fumble. How about this day that Cochran's having?
Is that his third turnover? A pick, 2 fumble recoveries?
I believe so. He had the fumble recovery on the punt.
Yeah, having a big game, and he was very close to breaking loose on that one. The heads-up play and a great hit. I didn't catch the number of the linebacker that came up, but put a helmet right on the ball. And
1st and 10 for the Elks.
All right, Round Valley with another turnover. Now leading 35-14, 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Points here of any sort would feel like a pretty big mountain that Seton Catholic would have to climb. As the
offensive lineman's resetting, pulled his hand up.
Not a lot of penalties on either side. The 2 most costly came in that scoring drive at the end of the half, where Round Valley was ruled to have interfered with a pass, and then the coaches lost their minds. Here's Finch now 1st and 15, coming down the near sideline. Oh, a little bit of an interference there. Got the tugged jersey being applied by Hurtado, but I don't think he had. He's giving him the Tim Duncan treatment.
Incredulous about the call.
Still awesome. Selling it. You know, I got to give him credit, number 21, if he goes back and watches this, broadcast later on. It's hard to get a DB to do that when they're beat. You know, when in high school it's not a spot foul. They don't spot it at the spot of the foul, and so you're better off taking a 15-yard penalty than giving up that touchdown. So it's a good play.
Especially as early as he did it too. Maybe there's a chance you get away with it as well, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Move it out into Seton Catholic territory. Hand this one off to Crick as he's gang tackled at the 45, gained 1. No, that's not Crick. Carrying the football that time is Titan Myers.
Surprised they've gone away from that quarterback read a little bit, and maybe they're working on some other things. They're up pretty comfortably, and I don't know if it's early enough in the season. You're trying to put things on tape, and
well, they got some big bodies to try to move around up front. Maybe they're challenging those offensive linemen to do that a little bit right now.
Myers this time moving right to left, tracked down from behind. A nice tackle there by James Boyle. Does pick up 4 yards to make it a manageable 3rd down and 5. And Boyle late getting up.
That was a good effort on that play. I wonder if he just got the wind knocked out of him. It looks like he came down a little awkwardly. Hopefully it's his wind and not his legs.
I mean, it looks like he might be favoring that left leg, but it could be a cramping situation as the Summit Regional Medical Center injury report is in effect. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game, and it does look like they're stretching out something in the hamstring region. Am I seeing that correctly?
Yep, I think more cramping going on, I think, is what we're dealing with.
I, for one, can confirm that I did not expect to sweat through most of my clothes to do this broadcast.
You knew you wouldn't get rained on tonight either, right?
Well, I don't know which I prefer, the damp and cold or this damp and hot. They're really giving his left leg the business there for Boyle. The second time that a key member of the Seton Catholic, both offense and now defense, has been having to stretch out that left leg. Looks like he's hopped up and not quite as confident as was Edwards, but coincidentally, since Edwards suffered his cramping situation, he has not been in the rotation quite as regularly as he was in the first half. Of course, the first half he was out there almost all the time.
Well, and I think I'd attribute it as maybe not as much to the heat. You know, obviously Seton Catholic coming up from the valley, they're used to practicing and playing in the heat, but they still have a natural surface field too. They don't have turf, and so they're used to practicing on grass, and the dome turf is unique even more than regular turf. It's, you know, it sits on trays and it's got a little different what's underneath it than a regular turf field does.
Cochran in the flat runs over a tackler at the 30 and then is going to take another one down to the 20. Nice delivery there by Finch, but this has turned into the Jeffrey Cochran show.
He's had an impressive night, just tough, physical, just a good football player. Offensively, defensively, across the board.
I mean, if we were going to nitpick, that's his first catch that wasn't a touchdown. 150 yards on 3 catches, 3 turnovers.
Seton's figured out something.
It's all
impressive.
It's all downhill from here. He's going to get a break, as that took a little bit of time getting out of the huddle, and somebody, I believe, called the timeout. I have not. Oh, nope, we got another cramping sentinel. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game, including IVs. This time it's the right leg.
No, especially from Suarez.
So it is showing 1st and 5. Was there a flag there that we?
No, the chains are showing
Chains
first
are first
and 10.
and 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Just some wishful thinking from the
Scoreboard
scoreboard operator.
Is right now saying it's hot for me too.
Maybe he's predicting an offsides penalty.
They are, again, really having to go to work on an extremity here from one of Seton Catholic's players. Can we see who that is? Is that number 8? Oh, that's.
Oh, is it 33?
That's Berber.
No, I think it's 33 again. I can see the helmet.
Okay. Well, coincidentally, that this time is now his right leg.
Well, hold on. Maybe it's not. I'm looking at the screen. That might be the old. We might be froze up there.
Santa Cruz Valley over Coolidge, 20-6.
I can't see. They're giving some interesting scores here. Number 8 is the player who's getting stretched out. That is Berber. Morenci is leading Safford 20-6. Sholo, 28-0 lead over Florence. Thatcher now has taken a 21-16 lead over ALA Ironwood. Wolf, Payson 51, Fountain Hills nothing.
Boy, the 3A East, with Blue Ridge's win last night, and Sholo and Round Valley looking like it might be a pretty tough division again.
Yeah.
Got to get used to the 3A Mountain, though. It's 3A Mountain now.
Is that what it is? It's not the East? Did they move Payson out?
Somehow the East turned into Thatcher and Safford and some of the Tucson teams. They became the 3A East.
That's from my old days when we were the B East, and I think they like that East moniker.
Stopped in the backfield after the break. Handoff went to Myers again.
Nice play by number 6, coming through untouched. Made a good play.
Yeah, and I think with that kind of that read play, right, it's just got to be an assignment, and somebody's got to be assigned to tackle the running back every time. And I wonder if that's what happened there, and he did a really good job.
Makes it second down now and 15. Myers still out there as the running back. Finch takes the snap, drops back, rolls to the right, looking for Walker in the end zone, and just can't get him. He's asking for a flag, but that might be a little bit greedy. Coincidentally, Finch now 8 for 15, 193 yards.
Well, that football player reaching for the flag and fake throwing it seems to be the most common salute on a football field anymore, isn't it?
Still one you can get away with, huh?
That's right. Couldn't have got away with it when I played, I'll tell you that, Coach.
Walker did a good job, though. You keeping his body in position there and screening off that defender. I thought he was going to get that catch.
Third down and 15, leading 35-14. This would be a 42-ish yard field goal. As again, moved pocket to the right side. Finch starts moving. He gets over the 20. He's at the 15, the 10. He's at the 5. Splits 2 tacklers to get to the 3. And he winds up with a 22-yard run and a first down.
Well, with as long as that play took to develop, there was a lot of depth in the drops from the linebackers and the safety and the defensive tackles. Both kind of lost their gap integrity, if you will, and kind of opened that seam right up the middle. And it was a really good decision by Finch. And he's got the athleticism that he needs to get that done.
57 yards now on 7 carries for Finch. That includes the sack. First and goal from the 3.
Myers in the backfield.
Got 90 seconds left here in the third quarter as Myers back out there as the running back. 2 receivers coming to the near side from the gun. Give to Myers. Stopped momentarily. Has to make 3 players miss, and then is brought down by his shirt's collar. Spun back at the 8, loss of 5.
It's a Gifford again. That number 6 is. That's 2 tackles for losses here this possession.
1 minute to go in the third. As rapidly as our game yesterday went, this one is going in a little bit of a different pace.
Definitely throwing the ball around a little bit more, this group.
2 receivers out wide left. That includes Case and Finch. Myers still operating as the running back. Second and goal from the 8. Cage Finch, pressured, has to move from the left to the right. Now he's got to make another man miss. Nearly is able to get by him, but holding him up just long enough to allow for the reinforcements to come as Hurtado.
And again, number 6, Gifford's the one applying the initial pressure, coming through untouched there.
That should be the last play of the third quarter. As it's 35-14. This got started with all sorts of fireworks. Got a huge return on the opening kick. Had a huge return on an interception. But otherwise, it's just been kind of a beatdown. 35-14, Round Valley leads. I just say that's a beatdown. Both sides beating down on one another. But it's a 21-point edge for the Elk going into the final period of play. Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
We're going to work on that.
35-14 to start the fourth quarter. Hey, when you're going to start your college education, you should do it at Northwood Pioneer College because you'll pay the lowest tuition in the state, and you can choose to pursue bachelor's degrees in education and business. Round Valley looking to try to claim its largest advantage, facing third and goal from the 5. Myers continuing to run out there as the running back. An opportunity to give the sophomore a little bit of experience.
Yeah, it looks like they got two of the younger receivers in as well.
Hey, this team has so many times suffered key injuries. It's probably a good idea to make sure that everybody's going to have an opportunity. Instead, they're going to go one of the old reliables as Walker is wide open toward the sideline in the end zone. 5-yard touchdown throw from Finch. First catch for Walker, as he's been targeted a number of times, but that makes it 41-14 after that Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Yeah, really good ball there by Finch. Just a good old out route at the goal line, and he'd let him out. And I don't know if the corner had some inside leverage and got beat on that out cut. It's a really good throw.
All right. This is Garcia trying to make it 6 for 6. He does. 42-14, 11:55 to go in the ball game. Round Valley with the edge here at home. It's Show LaForge's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff, and it's time to kick off your college education. You should do so at Northland Pioneer College, where you will pay the lowest tuition in the state. And you can have bachelor's degree opportunities in education and business. Garcia's done this a few times today. As he's on the approach, this one short and angling toward Fogarty. Takes it on the bounce at the 15. Now looking for some blocking help, and instead going to be upended at the 25. That hole was open and closed quickly.
And really good kick coverage there by Round Valley. I think probably the last thing you want to see out of your return guys, though, is to kind of stop at that point of contact and try to make a jump cut or something along those lines. But
it does seem as if what is generally the first string defense for Round Valley is still coming back out. As this time Seton hurrying to the line of scrimmage kind of caught the elk on their heels. Back as the running back is Berber, I believe. That is not. As he's going to outrun to the corner, get to the 30, down the sideline at the 40 before he's pushed out of bounds. That's Cochran who's going to force him out of bounds. Levin was there on the carry, wound up gaining 13.
Just kind of overloaded that left side. They had two receivers out there, ran the third receiver in motion, and running back Scott, I thought he had a seam there, but boy, the Round Valley team speed on defense is impressive.
They are. They've got some good team speed and physical play, and again, Cochran just all over the field tonight. He's impressive.
Fogarty wide to the right side. Time definitely a factor right now. 42-14, Seton trailing. 1st and 10 from the Seton Catholic 38 as Connolly drops back, looking in this direction. Oh, he's got some busted coverage, but he cannot connect with Fogarty. What happened there?
It was just a nice little combo route, and the outside receiver broke it off, and the corner came with him, and Fogarty came in back behind him and had a little bit of distance from that safety, was able to get to the corner, and pretty good ball. It just, you're talking, 2 inches, it's probably a catch and a touchdown.
It looked like somebody ran underneath, and Finch picked him up underneath, leaving Fogarty wide open.
Some of Seton's success came on that. They were throwing that underneath route that was coming open, and so I think maybe they miscommunicated on that one.
Connolly drops back on 2nd and 10, whips a pass. Oh, it's deflected and nearly intercepted after it was nearly caught by Mendoza. Initially had contact. Fogarty now is late goating up. And it looks like he's trying to stretch out a left leg. Good heavens to Betsy. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game, as this is the 4th Sentinel who is having to get stretched out. Let's go ahead and tell you that outside it is a balmy 87 degrees, but the dome is like
97.
We may take 87 in here. I keep thinking that someone's playing a cruel joke on us, and every so often we get a little breeze of cold air from the air conditioning. At this point, they probably just teasing that or just leave it off.
Can take a look. Fogarty's back up.
All right, players up.
Safford has scored to make it 20-14 against Morenci. Sholo's in the 3rd quarter still leading Florence 28-0. Thatcher's extended its lead over ALA Ironwood 28-16. Final Payson 51, Fountain Hills nothing. They're at halftime is the last reported score. Alchese's leading Globe 12-6.
Barn burner.
All right, 3rd down now and 10. After the 13-yard run started things off here on the right foot, throw it underneath. Edwards has the catch, dropped though at the 40, gain of 3.
Good open field tackle by the cornerback there to not only make the tackle or make him leave his feet, but force it back into where your help is too.
So, Coach, I'm always impressed, especially here with Round Valley, that zone, they played that zone pretty well, and those corners come off. Does that take a long time to get that installed and to get kids to communicate, make the right reads?
It's hard. It's hard for a kid this age to let somebody else run by him, cover him for a second and then let him go and trust that those guys behind him have his back. Yeah, zone's one of the harder things to do with high school age kids.
Back to receive this kick is Crick, standing at a 24-yard line. High snap brought down by Connolly. Angles this one away. That's not Crick, that's Walker. As it goes out of bounds. No, it does not. It takes a Round Valley bounce back at the 34-yard line. But again, Seton Catholic doesn't want any piece of this Round Valley return game. So, as we were talking, the 3A Mountain has a very impressive showing from Blue Ridge yesterday against a Chin Lee team that I believe last year was 6-4, 7-4, something in that neighborhood. Round Valley here, which was able to knock off River Valley as the lower seed before being spilled by ALA West Foothills, the team that eventually went on to play for the championship. They're looking sharp. This is a Seton Catholic team that made the 4A conference playoffs. Talking about watching Safford and Thatcher, ALA Ironwood. It seems like it's a pretty hotly competitive 3A conference here, at least the early results in week 1.
A lot of the early talk was the 3A, what is now the 3A East, which is Thatcher and Safford and Sabino and Push Ridge and Florence and Coolidge. And a lot of people were expecting that to be the strong region in 3A. But, I think with the way Blue Ridge looked last night, now what you're seeing from Round Valley here tonight, Sholo is beating Florence down there. So I think you can see that, these teams up on the mountain, they're solid. They're going to be good.
Well, it's interesting because in the 4th quarter, Santa Cruz Santa Cruz Valley High School is leading Coolidge 20-6. That's Eloy, right?
Yes. Eloy Santa Cruz. I think that's
they love each other.
2A,
those two,
right?
Those two communities, yeah. They that just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 20-14 now. So Coolidge still trailing.
I know Coach Hernandez took over down there in Coolidge, and they're still in rebuilding mode for sure.
All right, after a timeout was taken by Round Valley, 10 minutes to play, 42-14 the Elk lead, and continue to give different players opportunities here, as this is an option look sent out to Myers as he cuts it up over the 35, runs to the 40, still on his feet as he gets toward the 45. New quarterback out there is Kason Finch.
Yeah, that's interesting that they bring in a backup or and then they run the option for the first time. Well, you don't see that very often. It's just so hard to execute that option play correctly. It usually takes a lot of repetition to be a good option team, but that was a really good job by Round Valley.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to work on a few things late in a game that's kind of, you got well in hand, but you also want to protect your players. Injuries are always a factor in the long run.
Myers starts off on the right, second and short. Kason Finch. Well, they have a little bit of a hard time deciding who's going to have that one. You talk about the timing on the traditional option, but that time it looked a little more frustrated.
Give him 2 solo tackles on that one.
Yeah, a little indecisive on the read there. He wasn't quite sure what to do with the guy coming right at him.
It was Boyle. He was one of the Seton Catholic players who struggled with the cramping, able to force a 7-yard loss.
Well, I feel like Seton's had a couple of kids play pretty well in spurts tonight. I think when they get them all together and they get them playing consistently together, they get some talent to make some noise.
3rd down and 8 from the Round Valley 37, 42-14 the Elk lead. 3 receivers out wide to the right as this one faked to Myers, kept by Finch, and gets tackled at the 40 after he gains 3.
Well, now we'll find out if the Round Valley's got a punter or not. Would you be surprised if it's Cochran?
No. Not at all. Mr. Utility guy.
Yeah, that's he's just a football player, ain't he? Just
we'll see if he's
impressive.
A punter too. He's definitely got a motor. If nothing else, I come away super impressed with him tonight.
Well, I guess they did have that punt that was about 50 yards high earlier that caused the fumble, didn't they?
That's right.
Low snap. Cochran's able to get that one. Another high hanging punt. And he's going to allow that one to take a bounce. Edwards. It goes inside the 10 and starts moving laterally to the 8.
Have a night, young man.
It's a complete package.
Yeah.
So to go back to that conversation about the reshuffled 3A conference, the Metro involves this Seton Catholic team, ALA Ironwood, Chrisman, which seems like they've flirted with turning a corner a little bit. What's the chatter that you've heard about, what's their nickname, the Cobras?
Rattlers.
Rattlers?
The Rattlers, yeah.
It's just a missed chance for alliteration.
I'm trying to think the coach, there was a coaching change there this year. Is it Coach Hare that took over Chrisman? I think it might be Scott Hare, who was at Mesquite for a few years, won a state championship with Mesquite before we moved up into 4A.
Here's Connolly, pressured, now brought down, gang tackle for his sack back at the 6. It seems like of all of these teams that are able to utilize or exchange Queen Creek-based talent, Chrisman is the one that is having the hardest time trying to find a mesh.
Kind of a school that you kind of expected them to grow and move up to, the bigger school ranks as well, but in that metro region that you're talking about, you've also got Benjamin Franklin, who's a powerhouse this year with Coach Norris. They're expected to be really good this year.
Gain of 21 on that catch to Mendoza. 6:40 left here, 42-14. This is, again, seemingly academic. And Ben Franklin, to that point that I was just making.
Wide receiver here is lined up about 2 yards off sides, and Stacy double clutched on the flag.
Able to get that one, but this again seems like it's going to come back.
Well,
it would be a what would that be? A 73-yard score? but a hold is going to negate it. Ben Franklin right there on the Gilbert-Queen Creek border.
Same thing, right? They're right in the middle of that area where the premier players are going to the bashes and ALA Queen Creek and the big schools, big programs where they can get recognized, but those schools benefit from some of those guys that fall out of those programs over the years. So
what's important is that
Riker Williams, freshman.
now I'm going to go ahead and do it.
John,
as they have the option to find a high school when these high schools living or operating in communities with like 20 to 30,000 high school students that they get to continue to compete for small school conference championships. But I beg your pardon, AIA, if you're listening.
Yeah, it is. It does present some advantages, but by the same token, again, you don't. Like this Round Valley group right here is a good example. These are Round Valley kids, born and raised, and they've been Elks since they were Little League football kids, and you're seeing the difference out on the field tonight. They've been playing together that long, and they're just that much sharper and crisper than this Seton Catholic team that probably has some kids that come back from last year, but probably some new ones that are mixed in there too.
Well, I think we've experienced that, when you are successful in those small towns too, it's a community achievement. It's not just the kids, because there's been so many people that have been involved in it from the time these kids have been 5 years old.
Yeah. I got a friend down there who was very committed to the Round Valley outcomes a couple of years ago. He was down here coaching them in middle school. Before he moved away, is there a snap gets by Connolly? They've been flirting with this trouble for a while now. He's able to pick it up, still has an opportunity. He's going to tuck it over the 10, try to get to the sideline at the the 18. So again, the Sentinels able to avoid disaster, but it only sets up third down and a lot.
That's too bad. Coach Brogan was pointing out there, Fogarty was completely uncovered over on the left side over there, and that you could see he and the quarterback getting on the same page, but then that snap went bad. As soon as he corralled that ball, that's where he went back to, but it was not open anymore.
So with Sholo still leading Florence 28-0, at least as it was last reported.
That did go final.
Oh, it did? 28-0?
Yeah, the AIA's got it in AI 365.
That's going to make next week's game, as we try to compare results with Round Valley traveling down there, all the more interesting. Is here snap with a designed run play for Connolly. He's going to move to the left side and wind up well shy of the yard marker with 5:37 to go. How about this score, though? Thatcher leading ALA Ironwood now 41-16. That turned around fast.
Looks like they broke the dam open.
Figured some things out. First game jitters and things. Thatcher's a team you definitely expect to be in the mix at the end with this 3A group too.
5:37 to go. The punting unit is out for Seton Catholic. Back to receive. Ooh, a high snap brought down. And off the side of the foot, short kick. Going to take a Round Valley bounce to boot, as this is going to net the Sentinels 8 yards. I beg your pardon, 4 yards.
Generous with the 8.
Oof. That's a tough one.
Oof.
Man, I've wondered all night. Not that you expect them ever to shank a punt, but they're almost giving 18 yards.
That punter's a long ways back there, and that snap still almost went over his head.
Yeah, and I wonder, they're giving up. What are you normally 12 to 15 yards?
About 15 is where we try to keep them.
In to do some quarterbacking for Round Valley, Seth Whitaker. Another sophomore, as he's got a new series of wide receivers to work with. Pulls this one back, keeps it, and goes over the middle down to the 27, gain of 3. Myers still out there operating as the running back.
Well, this is, I think if you'd asked the optimal outcome for Round Valley, this has got to be it, right? A pretty convincing win against a quality opponent, and everybody's getting a taste of the game early on, and there's certainly going to be plenty of things that they can work on still from a first game, but I think they probably got everything that they wanted out of this thing.
Here's a fun conversation. After the Lobos move up to the 4A conference, getting JV games became almost the impossible dream. So now that you're able to have a situation like this where you can get some of your lower classmen opportunities, does it make it even more important if you're having a hard time doing something like getting JV games?
It'd be great to be able to get time like this for your juniors and sophomores on the field. Absolutely, and this is a good night for Round Valley. It's opening night to get a lot of opportunities for a lot of these kids. You know, I mean, even looking across that offensive line, they pretty much subbed everybody out up there, which up front, which is you know, those are good things to get these reps for the younger kids.
And again, all apologies due to the AIA, but if you're going to force teams to go up and down and all this stuff, can't they also have some authority to say, and all of you who are unwilling to go?
Well, I still maintain that the biggest issue they need to correct there is they think they need to take away the freshman-sophomore option.
Yeah.
Too many sophomores playing down at a freshman level team, and I know they do that because numbers are down for a lot of schools, but having the ability to play sophomores with your freshmen, that's what's killed the JV programs for a lot of schools, and they opt for that freshman-sophomore team instead. And you know, over in Snowflake, we still play all freshmen on our freshman team. We've just usually got 40 freshmen out, and we don't want to take those reps away from them, so it's challenging.
Well, I think when you couple that with the 6-quarter limitations that they impose on the younger levels as well, you really get handcuffed at times if you're short numbers, and then you only let kids play 6 quarters, so they can't play freshman and JV anymore.
Right.
Kind of handcuffs everybody that's involved with it, and I feel like that's kind of a rule that came into play that was much more big school oriented 15, 20 years ago when it came in, and it's really difficult on the smaller schools at times.
Nice run there by Whitaker. Was able to get 4 yards out of what looked like it was going to be nothing.
And then you couple that even on top of that with a school like Round Valley, who's a 2A school, and you push them up into the 3A. They're just not going to have the numbers as well, and so they're really, they're kind of catching it from 3 different sides. Oh, we wanted to see this all night. I want to see. He's had a good leg on these kicks.
It's going to be a 44-yarder. Oh, high snap brought down. Pressure. Gets it away. Doesn't have the leg. It does. 44-yard field goal there for Garcia. Makes it 45-14. He's been perfect now with his extra points, that field goal, his kickoffs, one of them flirting with going out of bounds, but he's able to just hook it inside the pylon. Nice night for him as well. His team leads 45-14, 3:42 to go. It's Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 or iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
You're going to get the end of it.
Oh. Forced out of bounds after, again, the reverse was faked. That was the successful play to start the second half. This time Mendoza was faking the reverse and keeping it and going on the far sideline out to the 26. So good field position here for Seton Catholic. Let's shift the perspective toward the Sentinels coming in, trying to break in a new quarterback, a running back that was not quite as heavily utilized last year as he's going to be this year. Still got talented receivers. Are the pieces there? Is it just a matter of gelling, or what's your read on the Sentinels so far?
Well, this will be a telling week for them. They've got a lot to go back and work on, and obviously they're getting beat by a good, solid Round Valley team that I think is just a couple of steps ahead of them in their preparation and their level of play right now. They've got the pieces there. I think they like I say, they're in a tough region though. They've got some stiff competition with Benjamin Franklin and some of those other teams in that metro region that we talked about.
New quarterback out there for Seton Catholic, Brady Hayes. He had 12 throws last year, but couldn't keep Connolly away from getting the starting spot. Connolly on the day, 8 for 20, 75 yards, most of those coming in that scoring drive. Got split backs, receivers on either side. Looks as if Fogarty and Mendoza are going to be given the night, as this one kind of stood up there as in running that one. Levin stopped by Bedeau.
And I think one of the traits that's not talked about that much in high school athletics is the resiliency piece and how well your kids rebound, especially in a sport like football. Basketball, it's a little easier because we don't have a whole lot of time to lick our wounds. We're playing again 2 nights later a lot of times, but football, you got that whole week to kind of stew and figure it out. You got to listen to all the people in the school and things like that. So that resiliency piece is a big deal when it comes to high school kids and football especially, I think.
Breaking news here on iTalk 106.7. Children can be mean. False start here from Seton Catholic. Under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they'll have some kids talking when they go back to school Monday, no doubt. But it's a different beast when you are working on on a week-to-week basis like that. It is a long time between games and between getting back on the field, but it helps to have some of that extra time to prepare and get ready, especially when you got a big game next week.
Whip a pass over to the far side. Caught at the 20, but shy of the yard marker. 3rd down and 4 with 1 minute and 27 seconds left. Talk about how Round Valley is going to be at Florence. We're hoping that we're going to be able to bring you Snowflakes opener at Coconino. But keep an eye on your preferred social media.
Well, excited for that one to see how Coach Reddick and how he comes out of the gate and see what Snowflake looks like as compared to what they've been in the past. Not expecting much to look different, but every time you're new, you get everybody's always got their own ideas. And
not just a new head coach though. Is it 5 new offensive linemen for the Lobos?
Offensive and defensive line all graduated. We had 26 seniors graduate off that team last year. So yeah, there's a lot of changes coming. You'll see a lot of new faces, but the cupboard wasn't left bare. There's some good kids coming up. I mean, obviously Jacob Leduc coming back, and you got some glimpses of Brenner Green once in a while running the ball out of the backfield, and Hayden Nichols, in that middle of the defense. There's a lot there, so I'm just like you guys. I'm excited to see them on the field. But the report I got from their scrimmage last night, they went down to Combs to scrimmage, and they ran into that weather that kind of messed things up for a lot of games and scrimmages going on down there. So they got about 35 plays in. It was pretty limited, but they felt pretty good about some of the younger kids and a little bit of a glimpse they saw from them.
What can you tell us about Coconino?
Coach Cook's back, I know that, and Coconino's always a solid program, very physical team. We've scrimmaged them the past few years, and with a scrimmage you kind of walk out. We stuck to our script pretty well, and made sure that we got the reps in and got a look at the guys that we wanted to see, but. You don't ever get a good you don't necessarily get a good feel for could we beat them, could we not beat them, but they're usually right there with Bradshaw Mountain on the physicality factor, and they're both good teams, and so I expect a good ball game coming out of the chute next week from Coconino and Snowflake.
It's a bad snap gathered And then trying to make a play, running to the far side there, Brady Hayes threw that one into triple coverage. Unfortunately, is floating on him. So now I think we get our first opportunity to see the Seton Catholic field goal unit.
Florence bound we are for a Thursday night football game.
Also mentioned that Round Valley is going to be playing on a Thursday night. Quick turnaround after playing in Florence-like circumstances. This is not going to be a field goal. As everybody tries to contend with the referee shortage. I formation behind Hayes as he drops back, looking toward the cornerback of the end zone and getting underneath that one for a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown. A nice throw there from Hayes and a better catch. Who was that? Was that Fogarty?
I think it was,
looks
number
like
3.
Fogarty. Yeah, great adjustment on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, stuck with it. That cornerback held him up, but he ran through that, and State kept his eye on that ball. And
how tall is he?
We don't have it on the program.
Is he 6 feet tall?
Probably close. He's their holder too on their PAT here, huh?
Send those lined up for the PAT.
45-21. Hey, how about another break here? 45-21, Round Valley leading. Closing seconds of the ball game. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on NiTalk 106.7 or NiTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff when it's time to kick off your college education. Just so at Northland Pioneer College, pay the lowest tuition in the state. As Titan Myers has a nifty return out to the 45. Perhaps more importantly, took 11 seconds off the clock.
We got one more snap.
And a good job holding on to that, getting tackled from behind like that. Especially a young kid, you're worried about ball security there.
All right. So we start taking a look ahead to next week. Again, hoping that we're going to bring you the Snowflake and Coconino ball game, but there's some other big ones that are going to be happening, including Blue Ridge going down to Safford. What was that? The score of the Safford game? That
20-14 went final. Morenci ended up winning.
Morenci.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good prep game for Safford. They're real similar offensively. They're both going to run that wing T-like type of style. So, but Blue Ridge was awfully impressive last night with that offensive line that surged. So, be interested to see how that plays out.
We'll start wrapping things up after this. Final score goes 45-21. The Elk are victors. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on NiTalk 106.7 or NiTalk1067.com.
Deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
45-21, Round Valley wins. This ball game started with an interception, 1 first down, series of punts. Seton Catholic had a fumbled punt, and that set up an eventual long return as Brody Crick was able to get the offense settled for Round Valley, and then after that it was just kind of running things through Jeffrey Cochran. as we take a look at some of our post-game superlatives, especially the Horan Auto Center drive of the game. Horan Auto Center is the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. It's tough to say that the first scoring drive was the drive of the game because it was so short. But the second drive, which went about 65 yards, I think, made it 14-0. I think that is kind of the one that you look at where Round Valley says, all right, this is how we're going to take over. And it was starting with an awful lot of Brody Crick, awful lot of short passes, just kind of keep everything simple. But how did you read that?
Well, similar to last night, though, I think that second scoring drive kind of set the tone for the rest of the football game. You saw that Round Valley started to establish that run game with that drive, and the physicality really started, I think, to kind of set them apart. So, yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
That would be the Horan Auto Center drive of the game. Horan Auto Center is the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN. I think that we had isolated Kason Finch in the first quarter. He had a big hit on the first drive that seemed as if that was the hardest of the hits. I can't remember anything else that seemed like it was quite as massive a blow.
Was it? I remember Lane Hill. Was it number 8 coming through, filling
a
hole?
I think
that's the one you're thinking of. Lane Hill, number 8, filling and just destroyed the running back on a great play there. So, yeah, I think that's your glass shattering hit of the game right there.
So shout out Lane Hill. Need glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Now, this could go in a couple of different directions. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, get your windshield replaced by the experts. What do you say?
You know, it was a great team effort. I thought they executed it on a team level really well, but I mean, you got a punter and 3 turnovers and 3 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know what else you do with that.
Speaking of Jeffrey
Cochran, yeah, he certainly stood out, at least in my mind.
Oh, absolutely, and it was much like the game that we saw yesterday from Franco, where it wasn't just the one thing that he was doing on the offensive side, getting those touchdowns, but he made so many different impacts. So there, Cochran, the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, get your windshield replaced by the experts, as we thank all of our sponsors, especially Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Overgarden, Sholo for our keys to the game, a Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store for the halftime show, Northland Pioneer College for a lot of kickoffs today, Horan Auto Center for that drive of the game, Summit Regional Medical Center, which had a busy day with all of the cramps, Comfort Fit Dentures on those touchdowns, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint for the player of the game. Thank you so much for spending some of your Friday with us. For Guy Chili, keeping us with the rundown in the halftime, coaches Brogan and Solomon, I'm Derek Palmer. We'll be back with you next week. This has been the Sholo Ford presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
On iTalk 106.7 KNKI, this has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horan Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.